On December 27, 2007, a former prime minister stepped out of an armored vehicle in Rawalpindi, and within seconds, the official story began to unravel. I've covered enough political upheavals to know when the pieces don't fit. Benazir Bhutto wasn't just any candidate. She was the daughter of Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, Pakistan's executed former president. She'd survived years of exile, imprisonment, and threats. And on that December evening, she was running to reclaim the prime minister's office, a position she'd held twice before. The stakes were immense, not just for her, but for a nation teetering between democracy and military rule. Let's go back further. Benazir's father, Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, was executed in 1979 under a military regime. That execution haunted Pakistan's political landscape for decades. Benazir grew up in the shadow of that trauma, educated in the West, radicalized by her father's death. By the 1980s, she'd become the face of resistance to military rule. When democracy returned to Pakistan in 1988, she became prime minister at just 35 years old. She was a symbol, the first female leader of a Muslim-majority nation. But symbols are dangerous in Pakistan. Her first term lasted only 20 months before the military dissolved her government on corruption charges. She was dismissed, imprisoned, released, exiled to London. Her second term as prime minister from 1993 to 1996 ended the same way. Each cycle the accusations grew: embezzlement, nepotism, abuse of power, whether true or weaponized. Those charges became her political albatross. By 2007, Benazir had spent 8 years in self-imposed exile. General Pervez Musharraf, who'd seized power in a 1999 coup, was under international pressure to democratize. A deal was struck, controversial, disputed, but real. Benazir would be granted amnesty for past corruption charges. In return, she'd run in elections scheduled for January 2008. She was betting everything that democracy had finally come home to stay. She returned to Pakistan on October 18, 2007. I've read the accounts myself. Thousands lined the streets of Karachi to greet her. The motorcade was attacked. A bomb killed 139 people. She survived, but the message was clear. There were forces in Pakistan that didn't want her back. Forces that didn't want her running. She knew the risks. She campaigned anyway. December 27, 2007. Rawalpindi. She'd just finished a campaign rally at Liaquat National Bog Park. Thousands had gathered. The security was heavy, but not airtight. She stood through the sunroof of her white Land Cruiser, waving to supporters. That's when she didn't yet know what was coming. None of them did. The official account, released by the government, was straightforward. A suicide bomber detonated explosives. Benazir was struck by shrapnel and died from her injuries. The Taliban Pakistan claimed responsibility. Case closed, except it wasn't, not even close. Within hours, witnesses began telling a different story. Some said they heard gunshots before the blast. Others reported seeing armed men in the crowd. The blast seemed to come from inside the vehicle, not outside. The initial police investigation was cursory. The crime scene was hosed down within hours, evidence erased. I've covered enough investigations to recognize a cover-up in motion. An independent investigation by Scotland Yard, commissioned by her family, reached a startling conclusion. Benazir wasn't killed by the bomb blast alone. Ballistic evidence suggested she'd been shot in the neck and chest. The gunshots came first. The bomb detonated second, perhaps to destroy evidence of the shooting. The official narrative began to crack. So who pulled the trigger? The Pakistani government maintained the Taliban was responsible. But the Taliban's public statements were murky, sometimes contradictory. They claimed the attack, then denied it. Some analysts pointed to elements within Pakistan's own security apparatus, the ISI military intelligence. Others fingered hardline Islamist factions opposed to democracy. The theories multiplied. Here's what we know with certainty. Benazir had received direct death threats before the rally. Her security detail was understaffed that day. The crime scene was immediately sanitized. Key evidence vanished. And the government investigation was, by most accounts, deliberately superficial. Whether incompetence or intent, the result was the same: the truth was buried. The political aftermath was seismic. Elections proceeded in January 2008, but under a shadow of suspicion. Benazir's widower, Asif Ali Zardari, inherited her political mantle and her party, the Pakistan People's Party. He won the election, becoming president. Some saw it as vindication of her legacy. Others saw a dynasty protecting its own interests. But the case itself remained open. In 2018, a Pakistani court indicted Musharraf in absentia for high treason, a move many saw as a proxy trial for Bhutto's assassination. Musharraf died in 2023, taking whatever he knew with him. No one has ever been prosecuted for her murder. No one. What strikes me most, looking back at the records, is the symmetry of tragedy. Her father was executed by the state. Her mother was imprisoned and died under house arrest. Benazir was assassinated during her bid to restore democracy. The Bhutto dynasty paid in blood for challenging Pakistan's military establishment. Her son, Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, now leads the Pakistan People's Party. He's never been able to bury the question of who killed his mother. The investigation files remain partially sealed. Witnesses have recanted or disappeared. The evidence that might have answered the question is gone. Benazir Bhutto's assassination remains one of the most consequential unsolved murders in modern political history. Whether it was orchestrated by the military, the Taliban, rogue intelligence operatives, or some combination, we may never know. What we do know is that democracy in Pakistan has been permanently marked by her death. Every crisis since has carried her ghost. The real tragedy isn't just that Benazir died, it's that we still don't know why. The machinery of power closed ranks, buried the evidence, and moved on. And in Pakistan, as in so many places, that silence is its own kind of answer. Subscribe now. Every week, we uncover another assassination where the official story doesn't hold up.